Bulls fans, welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. And on tonight's episode, we got a dub to talk about. The Bulls got a dub tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers, and DeMar DeRozan scored over 50 points. The Bulls coming on big in the second half after really being down big time. They outscored the Clippers by 10 points in the fourth quarter and by 5 points in overtime to seal the victory in 135 victory over the 135 to 130 victory over the Los Angeles Clippers. We're going to break that all down right after this intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
Listen, we're going to get into the comments on this one, but first I just want to talk about it. This is the way that we need to see the team play. Yes, they did not play the perfect game. They did not even play a good game through several quarters of this game, but the thing that we've been questioning, the thing that I've been questioning about this team for so long is the heart of this team. This team came back in a game where they were down 10 games ago, this Chicago Bulls team would have lost this game. The fact that they, at home, came back to seal the victory against the Chicago Bulls, this team hopefully is back to having that heart and that soul that we saw early in the season from the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, with playoff-style basketball, we talked about it, every single game from now into the end of the season is all playoff atmosphere basketball. The Bulls came in, they did what needed to be done. Yes, they got some lucky calls from the refs. The Clippers made some untimely fouls that really helped the Bulls even get back into this game in crunch time. But guess what? That's what happens. You need to be able to take advantage of it. Patrick Williams in this game, 10 points, 4 for 4 from field goal, 2 for 2 from three-point range, 12 rebounds, one steal, 2 blocks, and 10 points from Patrick Williams coming off the bench. If he did not earn his starting spot in this game, I don't know what else to say. 37 minutes from Patrick Williams in this game. Billy Donovan, he talked about it. He set the example. He set the tone that Patrick Williams needed to earn his spot back in the starting lineup. Ever since that statement, Patrick Williams has showed up for this team in key moments. The fact of the matter is, down the stretch, in key times in this game, Billy Donovan went to Patrick Williams. The young kid, the young bull, is back in the good graces of this team. And anyone who's doubting the potential of Patrick Williams, I hope that they watch this game to see when he's playing with confidence, what that potential can be. Zach LaVine, 5 for 17 in this game. Not the best shooting night for him, but he was 10 from 13 from the line to chip in 21 points. Nikola Vucevic, who had a great second half that the Bulls needed, 22 and 14 points from Nikola Vucevic. And then the creme de la creme, the king of the fourth, the leader of this team when it comes to stat-wise, a plus-minus of plus 19, scoring 50 points in this game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, only 2 turnovers. The Bulls did more than enough to win this game. When you look at the Bulls, 50 rebounds in this game, winning the rebounding battle by 10 in this game. We know the rebounding battle has been something that this Bulls team has lost several times. To be able to win the rebounding battle, I said it at the halftime hangout, this team was doing enough with the assists, with the rebounds. The only thing that hurt this team in that first half was the defense and them not being able to shoot the ball effectively. They got all those percentages up, ending this game shooting 49% and 34% from three-point range. Only 8 turnovers overall in this game. They had 4 turnovers in the first half, 4 turnovers in the second half. 24 assists in this game on 50 made buckets. That's almost a 2-for-1 ratio. This team came to ball today, and this is the heart that we deserve to see from this team. This is the determination that we saw from this team early in the season. This is our Chicago Bulls team. If you were doubting the team, if you thought that they weren't going to be able to win these games down the stretch, hopefully this is enough of a wake-up call, not only for the Chicago Bulls on how they need to play in tight games, but for Bulls fans, the sky is falling Bulls fans that have been down on the scene for so long. Listen, I'm very excited. I'm very amped, and I'm very hyped, and I'm glad to be talking about a win. It is 2 wins in a row, 1 win that we've gotten in this 5-game homestand. This is a great way to set the tone on what it's going to take to beat these teams that the Bulls are going to face. This was a feel-good win. This was a victory that we have so much needed as a fan base for so long that we have not gotten from this team. This is what we needed to see from this team. We got Miami on Saturday, but let's look ahead to a degree, but let's also appreciate the fact that our Bulls, being as bad as they've been since the All-Star break, were able to come in and show us the heart of this team, to show us the determination to win games, to show us that they again need to deserve to be looked at as a threat to the better teams in the NBA. We need to see it more often. Not ready to say that the Bulls team is back to where they were before, but at least this is a first step and a much needed one to get back on the right path for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to go ahead and go over to the comments, man. I appreciate you guys so much. I already see it. The live stream's popping. Everything's popping. Let's get into this one. Hey, super chat from Austin. Told my roommate I would go outside and kiss the ground if we won this fucking game from Austin. What's going on, Austin? Thank you for supporting the channel at that level, my brother. I appreciate you so much. Brandon L. Jet coming through supporting the channel. Debo and Patrick, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely. Patrick Williams showed up in this game. Desi Dez, finally a good win. Hopefully this spark to go on a win streak and go into the playoffs hot. Absolutely, Des. I know I missed another super chat. I want to try to catch up with that. Oh, another big super chat. Hey, thank you guys for supporting the channel at this level. Jason Sample says, let's go. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. This is the way that we deserve to feel. Again, even if the Bulls had lost this game, you would have been able to feel good in a way that they were able to do enough down the stretch. But this is C-Red. We seeing red tonight. We drinking. Listen, cups up. We always do this. Listen, this is a feel good. We need to ride this out, Bulls fans. This is what we love to see from our Bulls fans. Woo! 5 heart attacks, 0 regrets, 50 from Debo. First, thank you for supporting the channel. Also, my brother, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. I'm calling you PT. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I appreciate you. Listen, everyone who's joining here because this was a hot game, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, like the video. Thank you so much for joining Chicago Bulls Central. Let's go ahead and get into it. First off, we got a family member we need to acknowledge. This is Alana's last time that we will see her for a while. Shout out to Alana, who's a supporter in the chat. She is going away to basic training. Prayers out to you, and I'm glad that the Bulls were able to send you off on your win. Thank you so much for your continued support in this channel. Let's go ahead and get into it. Jack is truth in the building. Damn, Haize, if we win a chip, you can retire off super chats. I wouldn't say all that, my brother, but listen, I'm glad for the support, and I'm glad for the excitement now that this Bulls fans, listen, it could all be taken away from us come Saturday against the Heat, but at least for tonight, we saw our team fight. We saw our team compete, and I'm sorry I've been yelling at you guys, man. I'm really sorry. I've been hot. This is a momentum building win. That's what we got here. Let's go ahead and get into, sorry, my it's acting weird. Where is it at? There we go. I hope this is our momentum win that takes us in the right direction, from your mouth to God's ears, my brother, because I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Brandy Nicole says, get them likes up. Brandy, we got to work out the Zoom for the last game of the season, so send me, I'll respond to your email. My little brother from another mother, Spice Bands, is in the building. Spice Bands is going to be a guest on this podcast on the Sunday episode. We're pre-recording it, but the episode will drop Sunday. Spice Bands says, let's go. Absolutely, Spice. Haize starting off with a sermon, preach, Bishop. And this is Pastor Haize, but I appreciate that. Listen, this is the way that the Bulls fans deserved to get a game, to see this team fight back, to see Patrick Williams. Listen, he's back to being Paul. He's back to being Paul, and we'll break it down a little bit. Listen, this is just going to be a hype stream. I'm going to let you guys know right now. We're excited. This is going to be a hype stream. Salute to the Bulls. Salute to Bulls fans. Salute to C-Red Nation. All that. This feels good. This feels good. And this feels like something that the Bulls can take away and build on. It's not over. It's not over. We got 5 games left this season. We don't want to ease off the pedal or let a big win, take us too much. But it is what it is. We got to enjoy it. We got to enjoy it. Tate Holland says, chat on fire tonight. Absolutely. Haize, you right, bro. Even if they had lost, I love the intensity and everyone contributed, especially our boy Kobe. Well, listen, Kobe frustrated me very much in this game, but I will say this. Kobe did come a little bit better down the stretch. I still want to see Kobe, tighten things up. The Bulls, 45 wins now on the season. Again, that was my preseason prediction. So almost everything else, me being honest with this, that was my preseason prediction for this team. So, everything, yes, it sucks the way that it happened, but if this team can get back on track going into the playoffs, listen, they can ride momentum out, and we'll see where it takes us. We'll see where it takes us. Imperfect Kingdom says, let's go. All right. Absolutely, fam. Absolutely. Woo, man. Hit that like button. See red. Let's go. Absolutely. Let's go. Come on, man. Come on. All right, let's get into some things we could break down a little bit more. The chat's on fire. It's bringing up comments late. I apologize to that for y'all. I'm glad my man DeRozan got his 50. Felt like him or Zach were going to get one this month with this 50-piece hype. Yeah. DeMar's been playing like this. DeMar's put together a solid week, right? He's played some bad halves and bad quarters, but this is a solid week. This may propel him to get Eastern Conference Player of the Week, depending on how Saturday goes as well. Ronnie in the building. I get Zach is hurt, but the brain ain't injured. Not sure what happens this offseason, but if he decides to leave, I won't miss this bad decision making. Still a great win. Well, Ronnie, I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel at the level. Listen, Zach does need to improve his playmaking, but keep in mind, coming into the season, the whole thing was to make Zach more of a scorer, to get the ball out of his hands with having Lonzo, Vooch, and DeMar do a lot of the ball handling. That has come away. Zach decision making, that doesn't excuse it. And look, Zach's going to be back here, but I do hope to see Zach improve that decision making. But listen, we're not going to harp on the negative. The Bulls got a dub, man. I understand wanting to break down and honestly talk about the game. And you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but we're going to. Haize, love you always anyway. Good win. And DeMar is like MJ right now. God. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely a 50-piece. A 50-piece. Super chat. Love the lineup with P. Will and Vooch is deadly. Debo was a beast. When they moved to the lineup of having Ayo, Caruso, Levine, P. Will, and Vooch, that's when they went on the run that propelled them into overtime. I think that there's something to be said there. You have a nice balance of offense and defense when you do that. And if Patrick Williams is going to take the shots openly, that's the one thing that I've always said with Patrick Williams. It's not necessarily about having offense called for him right now, especially in this season when he's coming back. It's about Patrick Williams taking the open shots that he's going to get by playing with these players and taking those confidently. We saw Patrick Williams kind of hesitate a little bit in that first quarter or second quarter, I think it was, but down the stretch of this game, down the crunch time, Patrick Williams took those shots confidently. He put the ball on the floor, went up for a big dunk. He did those things confidently with that defense that he brings and the rebounding. People have said before Patrick Williams is not a rebounder. Patrick Williams has now showed in the last 3 games what he can do rebounding next to Vooch, especially on those long rebounds. Patrick Williams is really good at. So I'm not ready to say that we're always going to get this output from Patrick Williams, but hopefully Billy Donovan and the coaching staff see that there's something that they have unlocked there with that lineup, especially with Lonzo Ball not being back. The mixture of offense and defense that you get from Alex Caruso, Ayo Dosunmu, Ayo had to be out. It was Alex Caruso, Zach, DeMar, Vooch, and Patrick Williams. There's something in that lineup. There's something. I said 6 players. I'm surprised. They're probably going off in the comments. There's something about that lineup that they unlocked in this game. Now, let's see if it can continue, especially against a team like Miami, but hopefully it opened up the coaching staff to what that lineup can look like. Blah in the building. OG member of the chat is Blah. If Patrick Williams isn't in the starting lineup Saturday, I will fight Billy Donovan. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's go. Great win. I'm hyped. I won the $300 from a Clippers fan. Drinking tonight like it's Friday night. Hey, I forgot that I got to go to work in the morning. But it is what it is. Everything Bulls, who we need to work out an episode. P. Will haters are all fucking, listen, P. Will and Vooch haters all got to eat that tonight, right? That P. Will and Vooch haters all got to eat that quietly. Be quiet. Sit in the corner. Let the real Bulls fans talk about this. Adrian says Patrick Williams played a perfect game. Absolutely right, fam. Absolutely right. I hope that's Pepsi. No, this is Woodford Reserve. This is that good bourbon. That's that good shit. Julia Jules, OG member of the chat here. This was a great win, heart and soul. That's been the biggest thing in this for me, is that's been hurting me. Is questioning the heart of this team. That's been the biggest issue with me. The losing, if it was close, that's one thing, right? Questioning the heart of this team is why I stopped wearing Bulls merch on these streams. The fact that the Bulls have showed heart in the last 2 games, leading into a long stretch before the playoffs. That's all we need to say. That's all we need to say. Nick Tolliver, another OG member of the chat. Haize, I'm about to take a shot of tequila. Time to turn up. Take that shot, brother. Take that shot. Gabby in the building. Good win for the Bulls. DeMar got 50. Oh my God. Perfect Friday for me from the Philippines. Love your channel, Haize. Hey, thank you so much for watching from overseas. I don't even know what time it is, but thank you for staying up late and supporting this team and then turning around and supporting this channel as well. I really do appreciate that. All night tonight going to be Bulls Central, Windy City Breeze, Locked on Bulls hype. Go over and see how Matt Peck feels about this win too. Haha. Listen, Matt Peck is my dude, man. I've been watching Matt Peck for like 5 or 6 years. I'm going to definitely go and watch him at the end of this. I got 2 podcasts to record tonight, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Pastor Haize, feel like we turned the corner tonight. P. Will is ready to start. Fuck LA. That's a clean sweep. We own LA. Suck it, LeBron. Woo! Listen, that was a mouthful. When's the last time the Bulls swept all LA teams? When was the last time? D. Greatest says Patrick Williams needs to be a starter for the rest of the year. Listen, I think you still want to see more consistency, but the thing is, what we're seeing now versus what we were seeing before is what Patrick Williams' minutes were ramping down. We didn't see good Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams has been getting more minutes. We see a better Patrick Williams. There's something to be said to that. Absolutely. What's going on, Haize? Made a powerful win with a 50-piece from Compton in the house. King of the Fourth showed up tonight. Great showing from the King of the Fourth. A 50-piece from DeMar DeRozan. Jack is True says Paul is slowly earning that starting spot. Listen, I love it when players, the thing is, former athletes, I know a lot of people were like, oh, well, Billy said such and such. Is that a slight? Anybody who's played sports at any type of higher level, right, understands that coaches do what they need to do to motivate their players. Maybe that was Billy Donovan's way of motivating. Maybe that was Billy Donovan's way of saying, hey, you're not starting now because you're not showing me the things that a starter needs to do. Patrick Williams then internalized that, came out and said, hey, I got you. Hold my beer. And he's been playing good since that challenge was laid out by his head coach, Billy Donovan. Debo with the 50-piece and Paul with the clutch 3. Clutch dunk. Didn't he come up with a clutch block early in the fourth as well? Patrick Williams played his ass off today. Patrick Williams played his ass off today. Hey, it's good to see you hyped tonight. You were cussing the Bulls out the other. Listen, had the Bulls lost it? Well, no. Like I said, the way that this game went, had they just not had enough in overtime, I couldn't question the heart of this team. I wouldn't have been as upset. Now, with the way that the second and third quarters went, had they kept that up, oh my God, Petty Roosevelt would have showed up. But listen, thank God, we'll never know what I was going to say. Shout out to Kanye. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Nick Tolliver in the building. How you doing, bro? We got the win. Not Bulls related, but I was wondering how you feel about the new NFL rule. We'll talk about that over on Chicago Bears Central. With this hype, I'm not going to sidetrack, but get over to Chicago Bears Central. When we drop our next episode, we'll definitely be talking about that. What a game, man. I don't care what no one says. We played great defense, but they just couldn't miss a shot. We had an off night, but they didn't give up. That's all I wanted to see. C-Red also start Pat. Listen, MJ, shout out to you, brother. I think that's going to be a lot of things that go on right now. Marvin the motivator. Listen, I feel like this win partially needs to go to Marvin for motivating the Bulls fan base at a time when we were all-time low. The Paul is on the thaw. Don't know what that means, but I'm glad you said it, brother. Glad you said it. Patrick Williams got 12 rebounds tonight. That's what I'm saying. People who have been so quick to judge Patrick Williams and say he's not a 4, he's not a good rebounder, he's not this. Listen, Patrick Williams didn't get a real good chance to work into the role that the Bulls needed him to play this season. And he still hasn't. But the last 3 games, really, Patrick Williams has showed up big on the boards for the Bulls, even when he's not doing other things. The scoring is starting to come along as well. I said it before. Patrick just needs to hit the open shots that are presented to him confidently, and we're starting to see that happen. Edwin Washington, OG member of the chat as well. You're right, Haize. Maybe his teammates told him to be strong and attack where he's good at. He's a great cutter, just like the Claw. He's a good cutter, and he's a good... Patrick Williams is a solid three-point shooter, especially by that open corner 3 that he hit tonight. And that if you look at anybody who started at power forward for the Chicago Bulls, they get tons of open looks at that corner 3. Now, he doesn't always need to take them. Sometimes you do need to pass it to a cutter. But the fact if Patrick Williams can take that corner 3 and hit it even at a 35% clip, that makes the Bulls offense so dynamic, and he can feast that way. So yeah, we definitely need Leonard. First of all, I was just asking where Leonard Thomas has been. You guys have known. I asked Leonard Thomas I asked where Leonard Thomas was a couple of streams ago. So first off, the fact that he's back, he says I'm back. Chicago Bulls fan since summer of '90. Listen, you should have sent that in a fax. That just I'm back. That's all we needed from you, Leonard. I'm glad to see you here, brother. Super chat. Debo was mean mugging at the fourth quarter in OT. He wanted this game. He put them on his back tonight. P. Will is a beast. That dunk had me hype. Absolutely. Came at the right time. J Mack in the building. Paul is most definitely a rebounder, and we see how good he can be when he's aggressive. That's facts. That's facts. P. Will has a lot of energy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Whew, let's see. I'm going to try to go down to catch up with the chat. So if I skip your comment, I'm sorry. It's not gonna be a night where I get all of them. I'm letting you go right now. I'm not getting to every comment tonight. Haize hitting it big internationally. Best Bulls channel. Hey, I appreciate that, y'all. I really appreciate that. Adrian, Chicago Bulls party chat is popping right now. That's the Facebook group I'm partnered with. If you guys don't go to Chicago Bulls party chat, you're missing out on a great conversation. Come on, man. What you doing? What are we doing, Ronnie? We celebrating the win. What are we doing? What are we doing? Update on Lonzo is he's been cleared to start rehab again. They'll take a look at him in another couple of days, see if he can get cleared for contact. Nothing really. It's an update of him being back to where he was before, but no real update as far as like a return date or anything like that. Let's see what we got. Support the chat, support the family by hitting the like button and subscribing. Absolutely. Absolutely. MJG23 says that was heart, hustle, and muscle. A win is a win, but a heart, hustle, and muscle win is exactly what we needed more than we needed to see this. The Bulls fan base deserved to see this. The Bulls players needed a game like this. To get the pep back in the Bulls steps, a win was needed like this. And especially heading into a game against Miami, who I believe is Miami currently the number one team in the East. I don't even know anymore. Things go so crazy when it comes to the Eastern Conference standings day to day. So Miami is number one. Miami and Boston Celtics have locked in a playoff spot. Milwaukee's number 2, Boston's number 3 right now, and Philly is dropped down to number 4 with 46 wins. So that's where we sit at with that right now. See what else we got. Lavoy, haven't felt pumped like this since the back-to-back buzzer beater threes by the king of the. You know what? You're absolutely right, bro. You are absolutely right. Ming, are you concerned about LaVine? No, I'm really not. Like LaVine has really progressed as far as like dealing with that knee injury, but we know he is dealing with a lingering knee thing and a back thing. So no, I'm not really worried per se, especially since the doctors have said that it's not anything structural. Now, if it comes out in the offseason that he has to get surgery or something, it may change some things. But as of right now, no, I'm not really worried about it. Keep drop kicking the like button and subscribe button. Chicago Bulls Central are doing great things over here. I appreciate that, fam. I'm a Raider, but I'll support CBC because it's Haize podcast. Hey, man, I appreciate that, fam. I appreciate that. You know what, Haize? This is probably the first time the point differential wasn't a blowout by the quarter, bro. Anybody catch that? Yeah, I mean, while the Bulls were down by quite a bit, really, when you look at it, the first quarter killed the Bulls. They lost the first quarter 32-22. The second quarter, they won 27-28. The third quarter, they lost by 1 point. The fourth quarter, they won by 10 points. And then they won overtime by 5 points, which eventually sealed the game. So people saying I'm hyped. Listen, I've told you guys this before, and anybody who's new here watching this, I live and breathe the Chicago Bulls. I really do. Live and breathe the Chicago Bulls. So what are the odds on Bulls Central and Chicago Bulls Central? All I can say, stay tuned. That's all I can say is stay tuned. All I can say is stay tuned. Super chat. Hey, JDH, we're blessed. Have a drink on me. Hey, salute, brother. Listen, there's 300 people in the chat. Can we get to 200 likes? I don't even know where we are. We could be there. I don't check the likes during the video. I just go over what the comments are, but thank you for the support. Either way, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications button. If you want to be in the best place for live streams after games, it's Chicago Bulls Central by a landslide. So I appreciate you guys for your continued support. Marco Galaxy, this is a great point, and I'm not even mad at this. I need consistency now. Consistency, please. Listen, I'm right there with you. Not mad at that at all. Not mad at that at all. Tara says, Haize, just joined the stream. This game was insane. It was a wild game, right? It was a wild, wild game. Jonathan Miller in the building says, Haize, what up, my boy? I'm happy about the win, but we have too much ISO going on. We need to get back to the movement in the offense. Yes, P will need to start. I mean, yeah, we all know that this team is more dangerous when we have the most ball movement possible. We all know that. What comes some of the things that I did like in this game to correct some of those. Kobe White talking to the IO after he passed up that shot in the first quarter. Tristan Thompson being a little bit more aggressive in his attempts to score and the way that he scored. Those are the type of things that are going to help this team get back to that. So Danny asked, do you think that they will give Levine has to qualify for the Supermax? It's not just you can give it to him. He would have to make an all-NBA team. And because DeMar DeRozan is also going to be listed as a guard, I honestly think that unless Zach kicks it in high gear, I think that Zach making an all-NBA team may have passed by. Zach may not qualify for the Supermax this season. But we'll talk about that as we get closer to it. So let's go ahead and get back in. Haize, so what do you think about the potential matchup for the Bulls facing the Sixers since we haven't beat them this season? I'm not going to lie. The Sixers are probably the team that the most I did not want to see just because Embiid seems to own the Chicago Bulls. Now, at the end of the day, it's outside of our control, really. All the Bulls can do is win. All the Bulls can really hope to do is maybe do enough to get home court advantage in that first round by getting to the 4th seed. But really, the Bulls have worked themselves out of being able to really choose their opponent. So when it comes down to it, listen, if the Bulls fight a good, hard series and lose to the Sixers, it kind of is what it is, man, at this point. The Sixers, I wouldn't say they terrify me. I think they're actually easier to guard after the trade they made, the fact that they gave up Seth Curry, the fact that Harden sometimes falters in the playoffs, things like that. But I won't, like, the Embiid factor of it all, I don't know what the Bulls can do for Embiid. And, maybe it's not about stopping Embiid. Maybe it's about slowing down everything else around Embiid and letting Embiid go off on you for 40 points every game of that series. I just don't know. Like I said, I'm not super confident in the Bulls' chances against the Sixers, but it is what it is. The Bulls aren't going to win the title this year, but we want to see the Bulls play the best that they can. We want to see them fight hard and have a great showing in the playoffs and get the experience in the playoffs as well. See what else we got. The mods must be on it today. I haven't seen any trolls in the comments today. Listen, they must be on it. I don't mind ISO, but only when it's working. If it's not working, then you need to go away from it. And one thing that we saw this Bulls team do in this game is they went to Vooch more in the second half. That is something at the halftime hangout that I talked about, and we saw them do more in the second half with Vooch, and it definitely helped. Definitely helped. Let's get into Carlo says, man, please shout me out. I want to prove to my office mate that this is live. So Carlo, office mate, this is absolutely live. Shout out to Carlo in the chat. Let's go ahead and move on. Maybe we could drop to 6 to face the Celtics. No, we don't need to. No, we're not. What? No, we're not dropping. We don't want no drops. We don't want any drops. No drops. It is what it is, right? At this point, it is what it is. We don't want no drops. We don't want no drops. Let's see what else we got. Boom. These teams that we kept losing to, time to make them bleed. They are not invincible. I'll tell you what right now. The next 3 games are the Heat, the Bucks, and the Celtics. If the Bulls win 2 out of those 3 games, listen, that's what I need to see from this Bulls team heading into the playoffs. So it is what it is. Is Lonzo? No, I mean, we'll see. We don't know yet. I think to get to the finals, a good route would be us going against Boston. Toronto upsets Philly. Then we go against them with Miami. Not saying it happens, but that's our easiest. Listen, the fact that Toronto is undefeated against Milwaukee Bucks is crazy, right? And we've seen it happen before where certain teams they don't match up well against certain other teams. And then in the playoffs, that really changes the dynamic. Right now, it would be Boston versus the Raptors. So, like you said, if Boston drops down to fourth and the Bucks drop down to 3, whatever happens with Philly, I would like to see Milwaukee Bucks against Toronto Raptors in the first round just because of that matchup. And even if the Milwaukee Bucks do end up winning that series because of how they've matched up with them this season, it may take a lot out of the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm petty. I'm petty. That's what it is. They actually made offensive adjustments this game, looking for points in the paint in the second half after the jumpers were all coming. Yes, that's kind of what I was just talking about. They actually went to Vooch in the second half in a way that they didn't in the first half, and it really unlocked this offense, and it allowed this team to keep the game close, and then DeMar came and went to work. Working from the inside out is always going to be effective with the way that this team's currently constructed, right? So I'm glad that they went to that. Sixers lost to the Pistons. That just goes to show you anybody can lose to anybody in this NBA. Now, playoff series is a little bit different. So, yeah. Bulls need to beat Miami and Milwaukee. We haven't beat them all year. They need to know the Bulls won't lie down quietly. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Saturday, if the Bulls beat the Miami Heat, the fervor and the emotion that I'm coming into this after game show with is going to be through the roof. But at the end of the day, I want to see my Bulls team play well, right? That's why, if you notice, even in my pre-games, I no longer talk about wins. I talk about how this team needs to play, and they played that way this game. Win, lose, or draw, if a team gives this much effort, it's hard to hate on them. It's hard to be unhappy with it in a degree, right? I was ready to come here and say we lose every game due to our offensive rebounds after Covington got that one at the end of the fourth quarter, and Debo just Debo'd, and we won. Absolutely. Oh, I didn't see this. Chris Fleming low-key gets the game ball tonight. I saw him getting verbal today. Hey, I did not see that, but hey, if that's what happened, absolutely. JJ Ortiz says, now you want to read my comment. What happened? What did I miss? I can't get to everybody's comment. Listen, the chat is good. The chat is live today. I can't get to everybody's comments today. 76ers might be perfect matchup. It might force us into more cutting in order to frustrate Embiid with the high picker. Man, I don't know about perfect matchup. Come on. Perfect? No. Come on. The perfect matchup in the first round would have been the Charlotte Hornets for the Bulls. That, like, had they stay high up. That's not happening now. But yeah. I don't know about perfect, brother. But I feel where you're coming from. I just don't know if I would use the word perfect for that. The regular season doesn't mean jack squat when we're in the playoff. Everyone is 0-0. Teams that got swept in the regular season went to beat those teams not all the time. There are some times where matchups just don't work. Now, I will say it's rare for a team that sweeps a team in the regular season to also sweep that team in the playoffs. But it is what it is. I am Scox, another OG member, says, I know it's been rough, but I'm going to be all in for the first round. I'm diehard, Kent on my team, even through the struggle. See red. Absolutely, fam. Absolutely. Now we have to beat the 76ers this season. Hey, if the Bulls can beat both the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers, wait, do we play the Sixers? I don't think we play the Sixers anymore. Did you just confuse me? Is that what you did? Yeah, we don't play the Sixers anymore this season. The playoffs, listen, if the Bulls beat the Sixers in the playoffs, that changes the whole. If the Bulls were to beat the 76ers in a playoff series, you at that point have to say that there's a chance that they can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, if not further. If the Bulls were able to do enough to fix what the 76ers have exposed in this season to beat the Sixers in the playoff series, whew, that opens up a lot of doors for the Chicago Bulls. People need to realize no team comes into the championship picture in their first year of competing. It's a process. Be patient. Listen, Nolan, you're preaching to the choir here, brother. I've been saying that all season. I understand Bulls fans. It's been so long since we have this feeling and this taste. We want to get as close as we can to being a contender as soon as we can. But it is a process. Don't skip the process, man. Do not skip the process. JJ Ortiz says, I just can't wait for the Sixers to get bounced out the playoffs. Don't care about who. I just hate Philly. I live near the peasant ass. God damn. You sound like when I talk about the city of Cleveland. But that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. I think the way Patrick played today is going to unleash him. Billy needs to add him to the starting lineup and rest Caruso because you can tell he a little banged up. I mean, Yes, he is, and he's even said it. He came back early to want to help this team get their stuff together. But it is what it is at this point. It really is what it is. Jonathan Miller says, Haize, if we beat the Heat on Saturday, you should bring some of us up on live video form. Listen, I'm not opening the video because somebody will do something crazy and get me shut down. Not doing that. Not doing that at all. Millar Miller says, trust the process. Chicago edition. I like where you went with that. Jack is Truth in the building again says, anyone else think Debo taking that 3 at the end of regulation was the wrong call? I absolutely did. He got fouled, right? That was crazy. That was crazy. What are you talking about, M23? Trading Levine is a good option. Listen, listen. Some people don't need to feel anything. Be numb. Don't feel anything if that's your thought. Do not feel. You do not need to feel. You do not have to have feelings. You need to turn into Roman Reigns. Don't even worry about having feelings, brother. Do not worry about having feelings. LOL, P. Will just had his true. This is the NBA moment. He was late to shoot around and got fined, but he misses doing all those ladders. That's funny. I didn't even know that. That's wild. That's wild. P. Will's always been clutch when it needed. The way DeRozan looked after he made the last dunk shows he ain't fucking around no more. Insane finish. Listen, this Bulls team needs to get their stuff together, and they knew it. They showed it in this game. Cheers to everyone in the chat. Do you consider the Clippers a top team? Listen, I'm not all on the narrative. I don't give a fuck about top teams or not. What I care about is this team beating other playoff teams. Every single game we have left is against other playoff teams, where the playoff atmosphere is going to be played. This game was a playoff atmosphere. It doesn't matter if they're considered a top team, whatever. They are a playoff team in the NBA. And because of that, the way that this Bulls team played today, that's enough. That is enough. Cheers, my brother. Stop taking baby sits. All right, fuck it. I was trying to pace myself, but thank you for that. Happy Haize means that it was a good day. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh-oh, the chat's going off again. Hey, let me tell you something, Joe. It was so refreshing to see these come out and play. The way P. Will played tonight opens up everything, takes the pressure off Kobe and them. Game was easier. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Clippers pack since I don't drink. Yeah, get that Clippers pack. Matt Thomas needs more. Listen, man, I was so frustrated in that, man. Listen, if y'all don't follow Chicago Bulls Central on Twitter, you should, man. I'll be getting it off there. Oh, listen, this could be our starting front court. Vooch and Pat combined for 36 points. You know what? That is a really good way to look at it. And shout out to Gio for bringing it up this way. When we look at individually what Vooch and what Patrick Williams do individually, if they eventually are our starting front court in this season and in the playoffs, you kind of have to look at what they do together because they complement each other in many ways. Vooch is more of a scorer. Patrick Williams is more of the defender. We saw, by the way, let's acknowledge the defense in the fourth quarter that Nikola Vucevic played when he got rotated on Reggie. Because early in the game, he was getting murdered. And there were several times where it was Vooch guarding Reggie, one-on-one out on the perimeter, and Vooch stayed with him. And we weren't seeing that early in the game. But with that being said, to get back to my point, is looking at what Pat Will and Vooch can do together as a front court, I think may tell you what they are and how they complement each other. So that's a very good point. Very good point. How do you think the game would have gone if, considering the way that, listen, they probably would have went to PG a little bit more. Well, especially in like the last couple of minutes. Everything would have been different. But with the way that the Bulls played in the heart, I definitely think that they still would have pulled this game out. Definitely think that. Let's see. Y'all trying to get Haize. See, listen, they want to see, they pray on my downfall. That was all off beat, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Comments is going crazy. Is the championship is the goal with uncertainty of Zoe? How far do you think the Bulls team can go this year if he does? Like I said earlier in the stream, with the way that the Bulls have been playing, unless they really consistently show heart and effort like this, and the ability to the coaching staff, the ability to change up and make adjustments, it's probably the first round exit for the Bulls, just being fair. Now, my Bulls fandom and what I've seen in this team over the course of the season definitely makes me want to say that, hey, if the Bulls can get back to playing that brand of basketball that they were playing before, they can make the Eastern Conference Finals. But trying to be realistic and combining what we saw early in the season with combining what we saw after the All-Star break, I'm looking at it at somewhere in between the two. And the Bulls, depending on the matchup, I think can get to a second round, but I'm no longer saying that the Bulls can make the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Now, these last 5 games may change that, but I'm trying to be fair and objective in the way that I review and analyze this team and their potential. And so, yeah, I won't lie. After the All-Star break, it's really changed how I see this team in some ways. But listen, I'm still a diehard always. Why are people acting like that foul didn't happen at the end of the fourth? He obviously was in DeMar's landing spot. Is that not a shooting foul? What the foul that got DeMar three free throws, or are you talking about something else? Wait, I missed something I was trying to get from Push Forward TV. Says that Chin shot. Well, that's because I use Whiskey Stones, and it cracked not cracked, but it hit my front tooth. And yeah, that's what made me move my head back, because I'm like, I'll be damned if I chip a tooth on a live stream from taking a shot. I'll be damned if that happens. All right, let's see what else we got. Yes, that foul. Are people trying to act like that wasn't a foul? People are really trying to act like that wasn't a foul. I don't see how that wasn't a foul. Now, one thing that I did see is that, you know, somebody pushed Zach kind of pushed Paul George into DeMar a little bit, but yeah. Big shout out to Stacey King and how my man is always on point with what he's. Listen, Stacey King's basketball mind is amazing. Jackie Truth asks, so a whiskey stone is literally, it's stones, and they come in packs, and instead of putting ice in your drink and that waters it down, you put the whiskey stones in the freezer, and then you put the stones in your drink, so you get a cold drink without it watering down, and you get the pure alcohol. So these are for real drinkers. These aren't for people who want to drink those watered down foo-foo drinks. But that's what a whiskey stone is. Oh, listen, if we win a chip, I'm taking a bottle of champagne to the head, and I guarantee I'm cracking all this shit. And at that point, I wouldn't even care. I'll call my doctor. My dentist. I'll be like, hey, look, I need a bunch of teeth. I need some teethuses. And he'll be like, why? What happened? I'll be like, Chicago Bulls won the title. And my dentist would be like, say less, come in, we'll get you taken care of. So. That's what I was drinking was bourbon. Woodford Reserve was the bourbon that I was drinking. Can you explain why Los Angeles Clippers did an off-ball foul and fouled DeMar behind the arc? Well, the off-ball foul wasn't intentional. The player was a man. He was trying to get in position to foul DeMar as soon as the ball got inbounded to him, but he did an off-the-ball foul, so that wasn't intentional. Now, on the arc foul, that's just a bad play. So, it is what it is. Jose Sanchez in the building says, "What's good, Haize? What a win! Absolutely, it's a feel-good win for sure. Feel-good win." Whiskey stones are for people. Hey, JD, that is a way to look at it. And fair enough. That is a way to look at it. My brothers, Cognac Boy says, happy as hell someone told Vooch to get in the post in the fourth. That helped a lot. It absolutely did. Them going to Vooch in the second half definitely made this coming back a lot easier. Man made an inexperienced player move. He absolutely did. And I'm sure his coaches and his teammates are going to get on his ass about it. Listen, there's 323 people still currently in the chat. Get the likes up. Come on, hit that like button. This is quality content. Get the likes up, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. We've already gotten like an additional 30 subscribers over the course of this live stream. I just checked the numbers. So thank you so much for that. Chicago Bulls Central is the place. We are the voice of the fans. We're building a great community here, and I appreciate you guys so much for everything that you do in supporting Chicago Bulls Central in the 8 months that we've been around. Seriously, all jokes aside, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I promise you, this is some of the best Chicago Bulls content you're going to get, period. Oh, Jonathan Miller said, Uncle Nearest, you trying to get people lit. Wow. You the best. Absolutely. I've said it before. Have the best Bulls community in here, and not because of me, because of you guys. And listen, you guys must have been on the trolls today, because usually when the Bulls get a win like this, we have trolls all coming up. You think Stacey King would make a good coach? I think he would, but Stacey has said himself he's never going to get into coaching. But I do absolutely think he would make a great or assistant at that, because he really understands the X's and O's of basketball very, very well. Stacey King and Kurt Heinrich are the two former Bulls I'm so surprised they did not get into coaching. Really surprised they didn't get into coaching. Alan says, liked and subscribe. I appreciate that. And huge shots from Paul. Absolutely. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's almost midnight here. We got to get into Locked On Bulls too, man. So I definitely appreciate that. Jack is Truth, I know you missed it before, but this has the highest numbers compared to all the other live streams. Well, no. The second DeMar DeRozan buzzer beater back-to-back, that was our highest live stream. We had 800 people in the chat at that time. That was the day that the chat would load faster than I could read one comment. That was our highest. This is definitely our second highest for sure, though. Worm says, Bulls Nation, baby, let's go. Great win. Man, DeRozan was on a mission. Salute, Haize. Absolutely. Thank you, bro, for that. And this was a great win. But all right, y'all. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Chicago Bulls Central, I appreciate you guys so much, man, for everything that you do. Make sure you follow. Let me do this officially before I go. Make sure you follow the podcast at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text or voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. Thank you so much for your continued support. Make sure you guys continue to see red, don't be red. Go Bulls. Love you guys.